Alrighty guys, big news, they're buffing Iskandar, and in the full fairness of truth, when I was searching this up, I saw that there was an NP battery upgrade. I didn't see if it was 30%, I am praying that it is, but as soon as it was like, oh, Iskandar and I think it's Assassin Needlecris that got the buffs, I was like, dude, please make Iskandar good. This is like the most goated guy from Fate Zero, one of the most goated characters in the entire franchise, and the fact that he's just kind of dookie dog water right now is a crying shame. When I told people that I was putting Iskandar on my Destiny order summon because I thought he was cool, you know, I was getting some strange looks because it's like, bro, you can't put that guy on there. When are you going to use him? I'll find a way, you know, I'll find a way to use him because he does a lot of damage. So, you know, let's just dive into this because I saw the NP battery. So we're going from literally nothing, just a 20% attack buff for the entire party. We're getting the, oh dude, I see it already, dude. I can't even LARP and say that I'm not looking at the battery. Oh my goodness, Iskandar is actually going to let me just show you guys, just for a reference, how much damage this guy actually does. When I say that this is actually a big deal, it is a big deal because Iskandar does damage. He hits really hard. Look at that. He is an AoE servant doing single target. He's doing more damage than these guys, right? He's getting up there in damage. No power mod, by the way. I think this is similar to Artoria, isn't it? Let me scroll down. Yeah, it's right under Artoria. Like, so just use that as your frame of reference. As hard as Artoria hits, think of that like Iskandar. Iskandar does big damage. The only thing holding him back is that the Buster meta is like a club, you know, and the bouncer is, you know, Koyenskaya and Oberon saying, do you at least have 30% battery? No, you're not allowed in. Now Iskandar's allowed in. And this is also really neat because he has Pierce defense for the party. That's going to be really fun in like FGO, as some people on my server will call it, esports, right? Where you're trying to maybe not do the most brain dead thing of just like, oh, bring double supports, you know, blow up the enemy. You're trying to kind of like break out other servants to maybe min-turn something, or I don't know, beat the brakes off the boss in a different way. This is really good for Iskandar. Like, I really like this because one of the things that I think he did have going for him before this buff was, well, at the very least, he does give attack, he does give NP damage and crit damage over here, and with this skill up right here, when he has the star drop rate, his NP, because of its like high amount of hits at 8, can drop a good amount of stars, right? It can bomb a decent bit of stars. So he was kind of a nice, I guess, pseudo support in that way, if you want to think of him in that way. But now, if you have Iskandar, he can not only hold his own again as a really good looper, like expect to see from other content creators, because I unfortunately still don't have Iskandar, and I couldn't use him as a looper anyway because I don't have Koyenskaya on JP, but expect a lot of people to be using this guy and just him dumpstering on people because he's got everything you would want. You gotta have, I mean, dude, think of the fact that you can loop this skill with Koyenskaya. That's 40% base NP damage. With Oberon already giving you the additional 20% on his first skill, he basically has a built-in normal Black Grail. Like, he's already got 60% NP damage because you loop the skill back. That's crazy. He's going to be hitting really hard. And then what, this? I mean, you can loop this back. I believe you could pop it on wave 2 and wave 3. Or if it's one of those weird nodes where the 90 plus pluses have like the second highest HP enemy on wave 1, and then, you know, obviously the boss on wave 3, you can pop this wave 1 and then wave 3, right? So even though this is one turn, do not fret. This is still going to be completely viable for Iskandar. Like, this is really, really nice for him. This is pretty much exactly what I would have wanted him to get. I mean, ideally, this is kind of interesting, but if I was doing it and if I wanted him to be as broken as possible, I would have gone along the lines of, you know, coming over here, making that 3 turn so we could stack it, because even though it's fine as it is right now, let's make the dude as broken as possible, right? Against Iskandar. I think he deserves to be really broken. And then we make that 3 turns, or at least 3 times for 3 turns. It's functionally the same thing when it comes to Buster farming. And then giving him a 50% battery. But I don't think you want to put Drake completely out of a job because she's the 50% battery lady. But dude, I'm willing to sacrifice 20% extra battery for nearly like 10k more damage, bro. This guy, he is doing damage. Okay, this is a good day, dude. I am excited. Iskandar, good to have you back, dude. Iskandar, you know, born 2016, died whenever Koyanskaya came out, 2020 or 2019, reborn again 2024. You know, we love to see it. Now, Assassin Nitocris, I don't really look at hers very much because Iskandar, I was looking around to see what it was. I saw that for her, it's her NP, and that's cool and all, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to just, you know, fix her on the fly. But let's see. So originally the NP over here, you know, arts 3 hits, already kind of not the greatest, but we do have 0.78% NP gain, and with Castori being as broken as she is, will she be able to do some looping? Probably. I think that's going to be pretty free. Okay, so we're getting the higher scaling, obviously. The defense down, I don't think applied first. If that does get changed to being applied first, that's really good, because Nitocris does not hit very hard, as you can see. So getting that defense to apply first would be rather nice. The skill seal on all enemies, I do like that if you want to bring her as more of a CQ kind of junk enemy clearer, like she's taking out some of the weaker mobs and your single target, maybe something like a Berserker Castoria that can function as kind of baby caster Castoria, because she still gives the solemn defense and she can still give the NP gain to the party. If you wanted to go something along those lines, having skill seal is nice. Changes the field to shore, you say? For 5 turns. Okay, here's something that I want to know. This is going to be something that we'll find out in the next couple of hours. But initially, is this something where I can use Nitocris's NP and then say she gets taken out, or we plug Cedar out, or whatever have you, right? We order change her, whatever you do, right? Does it fundamentally change the field for those 5 turns? So for the next 4 turns, that's still live? Or is it something that is tied to her? I imagine kind of like Archetype Earth, where they need to be on the field to have that take effect. Because if so, I think that drastically changes how fun she's going to be as one of those FGO esports types units. Because obviously at the top of my head, the first servant that always comes to mind is Saber Nero for the shore thing. But even going forward, as long as this is just not for her, but it says change the field to shore. Okay, hold on, let me double check. Let's just double check the wording of Atlas, because Atlas is a little bit different from how the wiki translates things. Let's just look at like Maonobu, who gives herself. Yeah, okay, so so this does just fundamentally change the field then, because it says change the field. It doesn't say change field to self. I was just trying to make sure this wasn't like a different, like the wording was a little bit weird. This is going to be really good moving forward. I imagine we're going to see some summer servants. I mean, summer servants, go figure, that want to be on the waterside battlefield, which is what shore is. I imagine we're going to see at least one of them that wants to have that effect, right? I imagine this is one of those things that might look a little kind of just gimmicky at first. But once we see some of these other servants, it might get a bit better, right? It might get a bit better. Nitocris on her own. Imagine if imagine this is like a party buff where you could donate this. It's gonna be kind of a nasty, like kind of pseudo support servant. But does arts really need any more support servants? Because I mean, dude, we have Asclepius, we got Jufu as just low rarity options, and then imagine if we also had Assassin Nitocris just floating around. Might be a little too much, but all right. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Nitocris, I think, is one of those ones that we need to wait a couple of days on. Days on. Sorry, I can't speak. We need to wait a little bit. I want to see what other servants come out in the coming days, because I know you could probably get some, you know, filthy fun team comps going together, and you could probably figure out something really broken to do with this right now. But I want to see what they develop in the next couple of days to see if it goes from kind of fun, gimmicky setup to like, oh, this is actually really disgusting if you could just have Nitocris enable this. But Iskandar over here, yeah, this is nuts. This is good. This goes hard. Look at all the people that have Iskandar are going to be sounding off in the comments being like, you all laughed at me. You laughed at me and told me that I was a dummy for going for Iskandar. But you know, now who's the one laughing? Now, if you're on NA, you're holding the bag waiting for 2 years. But hey, in 2 years, he'll be really good. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. You guys have yourselves a nice rest of your day. And look out later on today. We are going to be having a video on the 21 million downloads coming out, because I did want to kind of get that out as we're going over these buffs every single day. But I want to also make sure I'm covering NA, so keep your eyes peeled for that around 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But on that note, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Patreon is down in the description down below if you want that bonus content. But other than that, I think I've rambled on for enough, and I think I have glazed Iskandar over here a little bit too hard. But I guess I'll go ahead and get out of here. You guys have yourselves a nice rest of your day. Peace.